Hi everyone! In today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet the African flower granny square. It's such a fun and beautiful pattern and you can use these squares in so many different ways. I used them to make this cute pillow cover, so if you want to see how I did that, be sure to check the tutorial linked below. Let's get started! For this project you'll need some yarn. I'm using cotton yarn in 4 different colors, but feel free to use whatever you have. It's a perfect project for using up leftover yarn. You'll also need a crochet hook. I'm using a 4mm hook. And finally, a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle for weaving in the ends. We'll start by making a magic ring. Wrap the yarn around your index and middle finger, making sure the yarn crosses over itself to form an X. Then, flip your fingers over and place the yarn under your pinky finger to hold it in place. Next, grab your crochet hook and go under the first strand of yarn. Catch the second strand and pull it under the first strand. Twist your hook slightly to create a loop. Then grab the working yarn, the one you placed under your pinky, and pull it through the loop on your hook. You can now remove the yarn from your fingers and gently tighten the yarn around your hook. And there you have your magic ring. To start round 1, instead of making starting chains, we're going to use the stacked single crochet method. This will count as your first double crochet and it looks much more like a real stitch, so it blends in a lot nicer with the rest of the round. To do this, begin with a single crochet. Insert your hook into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. That's your first single crochet. Next, make another single crochet, but this time insert your hook into just the second loop of that stitch. These 2 single crochets sit on top of each other and match the height of a double crochet. This second one will count as your first double crochet of the round. If you're a beginner, you can place a stitch marker in that stitch so it's easier to find your first stitch later. To continue, make a double crochet. To double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into the ring and pull up a loop. Yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, yarn over one more time and pull through the last 2 loops. And there you have your first double crochet. Then chain 1 and make 2 more double crochets. From here, keep on going by chaining 1 and making 2 double crochets into the ring. Repeat this until you have 8 groups of 2 double crochets, each separated by a chain 1. At the end of the round, finish with a chain 1. You should have 16 double crochets in total, including the stacked single crochet, which makes 8 groups around the ring. Now grab the yarn tail and pull it to close the ring nice and tight. I'm removing my stitch marker that marked the first stitch. To close the round, make a slip stitch into the first stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, and pull the yarn through the stitch and the loop on your hook. That's your slip stitch. Before starting the next round, make 2 more slip stitches. One into the next stitch and one into the chain 1 space. Round 1 is now complete and this is how it should look. Now cut the yarn and grab your new color. Place the new yarn on your hook and pull it through the loop. Tighten the yarn tail we just cut and chain 1 to secure the new yarn. This will not count as a stitch. Pull both yarn tails to tighten. Into the chain 1 space, make a stacked single crochet. First make a single crochet, then make another one into the second loop. This counts as your first double crochet. Continue with 1 more double crochet in the same space. Then chain 2, 1, 2, and make 2 more double crochets into that same space. Each chain 1 space will now consist of 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. So next, go into the next chain 1 space and make 2 double crochets. Chain 2 and then make 2 more double crochets. Keep repeating this pattern in each chain 1 space and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Now I'm finishing in my last chain 1 space, and this is how it should look once you've repeated the pattern all the way around. To finish off the round, make a slip stitch into the first stitch. Before starting the next round, we'll make 2 more slip stitches, 1 into the next stitch and 1 into the chain 2 space. Before we move on, I'm just going to weave in these yarn tails because they're a bit in the way. And don't forget to tighten your magic ring so it doesn't come loose. Then go ahead and weave that in as well. To start round 3, make a stacked single crochet into the chain 2 space. This will count as your first double crochet. I'm once again placing a stitch marker in that stitch so I know where to end the round. Now continue in the same chain 2 space and make 6 more double crochets. Counting the stacked start, you should have a total of 7 double crochets in that chain 2 space. Next, move into the next chain 2 space and make 7 more double crochets. Continue this all the way around so that each chain 2 space ends up with 7 double crochets. Now I'm at the end of the round and this is how it's looking so far. To finish off the round, make a slip stitch into the first stitch. Before moving on to the next round, make sure you have 7 double crochets in each of the 8 chain 2 spaces. Now we're ready to start round 4. First, cut the yarn and grab your new color. Just like before, place it on your hook and pull it through the loop. Tighten the yarn tail we just cut, then chain 1 to secure the new yarn. This will not count as a stitch. Give both yarn tails a gentle pull to tighten everything. Now into the same stitch we just slip stitched into, make a single crochet. To do that, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. That's your first stitch of the round. Continue by making 6 more single crochets, 1 into each of the double crochets from the previous round. When you reach the end of a petal like we have here, before starting the next one, we're going to make a single crochet spike stitch. To do that, insert your hook straight down into round 2, into that little space. Grab the yarn, pull it through and extend it up to match the height of the round you're on, but don't pull it too tight. Then yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. That's your first spike stitch. Now we'll continue the pattern by making single crochets. The first stitch after the spike is often a bit hidden behind it, so make sure you don't skip it. Make 7 single crochets in total, 1 into each stitch. And then make another spike stitch into round 2. Repeat this pattern all the way around. 7 single crochets, then 1 spike stitch, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Now I made my final set of 7 single crochets, and the last stitch of the round is another spike stitch. To finish the round, slip stitch into the very first single crochet you made at the beginning. And that's it, round 4 is done. You should now have a beautiful outline around the flower. Now we're ready to start round 5, and in this round we'll turn the flower into a square. Grab your final color and attach the yarn just like before. We'll begin by making a half double crochet into the same stitch we just slip stitched into. To do that, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That's your first stitch of the round. Next, make 3 single crochets, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches. Since the petal curves downward, we'll gradually increase the stitch height to keep the edge straight and turn the flower into a square. Next, make a half double crochet, followed by a double crochet, and then a treble crochet. To do that, yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops 3 times. Now you reach the spike stitch between the petals. This is where we'll form the corner. Start with a double treble crochet. To do that, yarn over 3 times, insert your hook, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops 4 times. You can now see how increasing the stitch height keeps everything aligned. Then chain 3 to create the corner space. And make another double treble crochet into that same spike stitch. From here, we work our way back up the side of the next petal. Make a treble crochet, then a double crochet, and a half double crochet. Then make 3 single crochets, followed by a half double crochet, and finish with a single crochet into the next spike stitch. And that completes 1/4 of the square. Now repeat that whole pattern 3 more times. Each repeat contains 17 stitches, so by the end you should have 68 stitches in total. Since this is one of the trickier rounds, I'll show it one more time. We started the round with a half double crochet just after the spike stitch, so now we continue exactly the same way. Start with a half double crochet, then make 3 single crochets, followed by a half double crochet, a double crochet, and finally a treble crochet. Into the next spike stitch, make your corner. Make a double treble crochet, chain 3, and another double treble crochet into that same stitch. Then make your way back up the next petal. Start with a treble crochet, followed by a double crochet, then a half double crochet. Make 3 single crochets, then a half double crochet, and finish with a single crochet into the spike stitch. Now you should have 2 corners done. Repeat the same pattern 2 more times and I'll meet you at the end. Once you've completed all 4 sides, your last stitch should be a single crochet into the final spike stitch. To finish off the round, make a slip stitch into the first half double crochet from the beginning. And that's it. Round 5 is complete and your flower is now shaped into a square. Now we only have 1 round left, and in this round we'll create a nice edge around the square. To begin, go into the stitch where we just slip stitched and make a stacked single crochet. I'm once again marking this as the first stitch of the round. Now continue by making 1 double crochet in each stitch until you reach the corner space. Once you reach the corner, make 2 double crochets, chain 3, and then make 2 more double crochets into the same corner space. You'll repeat this in each of the 4 corner spaces. Keep going with 1 double crochet in every stitch from the previous round, and whenever you reach a corner space, make 2 double crochets, chain 3 and 2 more double crochets all into that same space. Repeat this pattern all the way around. Each side should have 17 double crochets between the corners and 21 in total including the corner stitches, making 84 stitches all around. Once you've made your final double crochet in the last stitch, we're ready to fasten off. To finish off the square, we're going to make an invisible fasten off. Cut the yarn and pull it all the way through. Then thread your yarn tail onto a needle. I'm just removing the stitch marker here. Now, instead of going into the first stitch, insert your needle into the second stitch and pull the yarn gently through. Now, insert your needle into both the back loop and the third back loop of the stitch the yarn tail comes from. Pull gently so it matches the other stitches. And just like that, you've created a fake stitch that bends in perfectly with the rest. Finish off by weaving in the yarn tail. Now we're done with the crochet part, but as you can see, the square might be a little curly. If you gently pull at the corners, you'll notice it already starts to take a better shape. To help it stay that way and lie nice and flat, I recommend blocking your square. You can use whatever method you prefer. If you have a blocking board, feel free to use that. But if you don't, you can easily make your own with just a few things you might already have at home. All you need is a cardboard box. I'm just using an empty cereal box. You'll also need some wooden skewers and a marker. We'll start by getting the square a little wet. I'm just using a spray bottle, but you could also rinse it under the tap. You can already see that after adding a bit of water, the stitches relax and the square becomes less curled right away. Next, lay the damp square flat on your cardboard. Grab your marker and gently mark where each corner is. Just be careful not to mark on the yarn. This step is optional, but it can help guide your placement of the wooden skewers. Now take your wooden skewers and insert one into each corner where you made the marks. Feel free to adjust them until the square is stretched out evenly. I also like to make sure the square is lying nicely and that the corners are pulled enough to give it a good shape. Once you're happy with how it looks, push the skewers all the way through to the back of the cardboard to make it more stable. Finally, I like to spray a little extra water over the top, just to make sure it's nicely damp. And that's it! Your homemade blocking board is ready, and now all you have to do is wait for the square to dry. Once it's completely dry, you can remove the square. And you'll see it's much flatter and holds its shapes beautifully. And that's it! Your African flower granny square is now done. I hope you enjoyed making it. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more crochet projects. And if you want to see how I turn these squares into a cute pillow cover, make sure to check out the tutorial linked below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.